Right here.
Yes. Hello, friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Melody McAllister. I'm coming in live from Anchorage, and I have such an exciting book chat today with one of my very favorite authors, Jennifer Bernard. But I'm going to call her Jenny today because we are now good friends. And it's funny because we're both coming in from different places in Alaska. So this is the first time that I've actually had a book chat from somebody else in Alaska. And I've been reading them. Yes, I've been reading your books for about probably since we moved here. Like yours was one of the first that I checked out of the library. I started with your Love Between the Bases because I love baseball and I love romance novels. And so once I read one of your books, and I started downloading them on my phone. And so anyway, I'll stop talking. But tell us a little bit about yourself. And thank you so much for coming today.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here. I was explaining earlier that I've always wanted to do, some live stuff, but living here in Alaska, and I'm even more rural than probably you are, my internet is just crap. It's like, I didn't want to take a chance and having it dump out halfway through or, starting some brilliant line of, thought and boom, my internet is out. So, or even a not brilliant one, more likely. So I'm super excited I can finally actually talk face to face to people, but like you. I mean, we've been communicating on Facebook, just in my group and so forth. But I've never actually met you, and I knew that you were, in Alaska, a fellow Alaskan. So that's super exciting! Yay!
It is. Really, and what else is? Oh, thank you. And also, I met you have a giveaway that's coming up because you just released your newest book that we're going to talk about. So, do you want to tell us about your giveaway?
Yeah. Well, I can give away this book, actually, this exact book. I'm trying to get it into the frame. This is a paperback copy. It's like backwards, and of Love at First Light, which is the book that just came out last week. Actually, I think a week ago, yesterday. And I will sign it and include a couple little pieces of swag and send it to one person who would like to read it.
And I gotta say that I read it in 6 hours. I don't want to give it 5 stars. I want to give it 5 emoji flames.
Oh, extra steamy, yeah.
It is great. No, it was great. I couldn't put it down. I do prefer to hold books, but with yours, I just want them. Like I just get them on my phone because I don't have to wait. It just makes me happy.
I love that about ebooks. Yeah, you just like bing. I do that all the time. The one click habit.
Yes. And I always give you 5 stars. How are we going to win it? Like, is it just somebody that comments is going to win?
Yeah. Yes, just leave a comment. I would, that's it. And somebody who hangs out with us today.
So hang out with us, y'all.
Hang out with us.
Yes.
Come hang out.
Come hang out with us. And if you post your questions, we will get to them. So people are, going to be able to watch from Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. So this is so great. I've been following you for a little bit about a year. And the cool thing is, this is crazy. You're not from Alaska.
No.
You're a Harvard graduate.
Yes.
You worked in LA and you had like this sexy job, right? In media and marketing but it's cool. What's your background?
I worked at a news station, an NBC affiliate in Los Angeles. And I was the promo writer, and I'm not sure if people know what that is, but the person who writes coming up at 11, crime spree through, whatever, or 10 tips to look taller, whatever, stuff like that. So I would write these little 30-second or short little promos for the upcoming newscasts. And then sometimes we do like fancier promos for like the whole station. And we, go out and shoot video or shoot, whatever, more complicated things like that. But I was basically the writer and the producer of that kind of thing. So it was, news adjacent, not really in the news, but it was exciting. And I really did like living in Los Angeles. I still have a lot of friends there. But it kind of got to the point where it was either like I had to keep moving up in this field, in this business. And I didn't really, it wasn't what I wanted to do, kind of looking forward with my life. And I had always wanted to write. It's ever since I was little. that was my dream. I wanted to be an author, and I just, decided that this was my chance. It was either, I was never going to do it, or I was just going to have to take a leap and do it. So I actually sold my house in Los Angeles, and I got lucky because I sold it right before everything crashed. And I came up here. My sister was living here, and she just had a baby, so I wanted to come and, be of assistance to her, and meet my little nephew, and just start trying to write and to make something happen. I mean, I had been writing, but start to really be serious about it and give myself a chance to see if I could really make a living doing the thing that I love the most to do. So that was, and then I got off the plane virtually. Like 2 weeks later, I met my now husband. So that proved that it was destiny, I think.
Yes.
Especially because writing romance. So
yes. And I love it. And you and I both we talked about this before we went live, that we've been reading romance since we were young people.
Yep.
Like
yeah.
Yes, that's been my drug of choice for a long time.
Me and you both. Seriously. It's like there's nothing like a romance novel. Just take you away and just reset your mind, so that you can deal with things. That's how it works for me anyway.
Me too.
I know that there's
it's going on and on and on. Like a romance book is one of the only things that can shut my brain down and just take me to a wonderful escape.
And give you like a sense of hope, like things are going to be okay. Not everything is a disaster, So I really love that just kind of reminder of optimism and happiness. And, sometimes you just need that. And I've always been like, the worst of my life have been the times where I've really, really gotten into reading a lot of romance, and it just saved me more times than I can say. So I'm a long time lover of the genre, and, so that's why I wanted to write it too. It's like, it's been so helpful to me. I want to share that, I want to do that for other people if possible.
You do. I want to say hi to my friend, Chelsea. She's joining in. She's on my private Facebook page. So that's why we can't see her comment. Yeah. Hey, Chelsea, keep commenting. You could win a paperback at the end. But I got to say that you do this very well. You can hold it up. This is a great book to win.
I'll put it right in front of my face there.
Well, and if you're wanting a real escape, this is a great book. I could not put it down. And I have to say that your books, I've read one complete series, and that was The Love Between the Bases. And I've read several of your Bachelor Firemen, and those were very flame-worthy ones also. But the thing that I noticed about all of your books is that they're hysterical. Like, I laugh out loud when I read your books because your dialogue is so funny. And you don't skimp on the dialogue. You don't skimp on the plot. You drop these hints. So I'm always like, I wonder if she's going to write about this next. And also I mean, just the passion in your books. Like, I will be transparent and say that I have been jealous of some of the characters in your book.
Yeah, they have it pretty good, don't they? These amazing men who
and another thing that I love about your books, before we talk about your newest series, is you weave a lot of culturally relevant topics into your stories too. Like, it's not like your books are without reality. And what I loved about this last book was Maya. She is the police chief in this little town called Lost Harbor. And she's the only Black female friend that she has in her circle and kind of in the community. And you talk about issues that are real for people of color. And I love that. You didn't shy away from that, but you also did it in a way that was very respectful and very I tuned in because I care about that. And I care about all of my friends. And I knew that it was real. So I really appreciated that too.
Oh, good. I'm glad you say that because, I feel like escape is one thing, but complete denial and head in the sand is not what I'm about. It's more that these issues that we all live with exist, but I do believe that we can I'm not like nitty gritty, getting into lots of hardcore, problems, but it's the idea that we can overcome, our problems and our differences and our issues with each other. That's part of the hope of a romance novel. It's not that we're just going to pretend that problems don't exist. We're going to hold on to the hope that we can, transcend them and be harmonized with each other and, be appreciative and loving towards each other. That's kind of
and I loved it because and so in Lost Harbor, all of the ladies, the leading ladies, they are really close friends, and so I love that you are able to capture those relationships. And so before we get into, I just want to know, is it her turn next?
Yes.
Is it? Yeah. Okay.
I'm working on Maya's story right now. Okay. Actually, I'm in revisions on it. and that's challenging because obviously this is not an own voices book. I'm not Black. I have, I'm not speaking from the experience of a Black person. So it's, I want to acknowledge that in somehow in the book that I'm not going to pretend to present the full perspective of somebody that I'm not. I can't do that. Like a Black person is going to know things and have experienced things that I don't want to pretend that I can speak for that.
Right.
So I'm kind of like trying to find the balance there between, conveying this character's story that I love this character. She deserves a happy ending. She deserves a full story, yet without, stepping on other people's, territory in a way,
Yeah.
like other, an author who is an own voices author would write it differently than me, no doubt. So
yeah, that I can see that as a challenge, but so far I think that you have done well by Maya, and I think that women of color would really enjoy her character. But it's good because it's a subtle way, just of, there's sometimes our perspective that we've never even been open to that. So you're doing it in a very good way, and I know that you're going to do it respectfully and with a lot of homework, because that's who you are. You are an amazing author, and your work, like it's just, I love it. It's incredible, and I'm looking forward to it. I wish it was already out. I asked you, how many books do you put out a year?
Yeah, and I had to count them up, and it's going to be 5 this year. So I think that's a little. I think last year it was 4. So I'm not always like so many books coming out. It's but I think as time has gone on, I've gotten a little more. I know where my problem areas are as an author, and so I can do a better job of I don't want to say fast because it's never like speedy necessarily, but I know what I'm going to have to work on and pay attention to as I write. So I have gotten a little bit faster, and I know when something isn't working, and I can address it. So I think this is like, I'm probably up to like 30 books now. I have to count them up. So I've been, gaining experience as I go, and hopefully skill.
Yes.
And, I just, and I haven't gotten tired of it yet. I really just, I love writing. I love it. So just trucking along.
Heck yeah. And so tell us a little bit about your Lost Harbor series. Like, what inspired it?
Well, ever since I, have been publishing books, I mean, moving to Alaska and starting my publishing career kind of happened at the same time. So, and people be like, oh, you live in Alaska. Why don't you write books set in Alaska? And I was like, well, I just, my mind is still in Los Angeles, or other places, because Alaska is so different and so like majestic and all encompassing, and just I didn't feel that I knew it well enough yet to really talk about it, really write, set anything here basically. And I knew Los Angeles so well, it was easy for me to set stories there. And I wanted to do Alaska justice. I knew eventually I would write something set here, but I wanted to wait until I really felt like I could do a good job, basically. because a lot of times Alaska, it's like, it's not just a setting, it's like it's kind of a way of life in a way, more so than unless you really live here, you don't really see that. So
That's the truth. I don't even know how to describe
it took me
it.
a while.
So true, so true. And
Yeah.
and I wanted to say, like, you really touched on some truth too, like when they were getting lost in the wilderness, and this, like, it's real about Alaska. I've heard some crazy stories from people who have lived here for decades, or people who were born and raised here. Like, criminals come here and they wander into the, the places that don't have any tech,
Law
any sort of,
enforcement, right.
yes. And you touch on that. And so,
Yeah.
and then of course, one of your main characters is Maya. She's the police chief. And so I'm looking forward to, like, you drop some mystery and this at Love at First Sight. And I'll just go there. But you dropped a mystery in Love at First Sight. You have this, like, you've had just a series of mysteries that have just kept me, really into it. And so this new mystery of this criminal, I mean, I can't wait to see what unfolds in the next one, is what I'm trying to say, but not very well.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, she's on it. Maya is on it. To go back to the wilderness in this story, but it's actually, it all takes place over the holidays. So that the title of Maya's book is called Head Over Heels for the Holidays, because all the titles have this kind of alliteration. So she's along with her solving these crazy crimes out this situation out in the Los Angeles wilderness, she's also falling in love over the holiday season, which is tough for her because her boyfriend 5 years ago dumped her on Christmas Eve. So she's one of the people, and I used to be one of these myself, that actually kind of got depressed during the holidays. So that's some things are gonna change in her life for the better over this holiday season. So.
Maya is going to slow down and welcome love into her life. I am so excited for this.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about, like, the titles and the alliteration, so I'm a part of, and then I put it's scrolling on the bottom. It's facebook.com/groups/hot readers. And you actually asked for feedback in that group.
Oh yeah, I do.
Because you changed a title. I remember you changed a title and changed it to another one that we all said we liked better. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Wicked in Winter. I think I had, like, Wedded in Winter, which it suited the story, and which is why I came up with it. But
Wicked was
somebody came in with Wicked, I was like, yes, I changed it. Well, readers, you guys are smart. I mean, I often pick my readers' brains, all kinds of stuff. I changed a cover at one point also. I asked for feedback on a cover. It's I don't ask for feedback on everything, because that would take forever. I would never get anything done. I have to make decisions, lots of decisions about all kinds of stuff all the time. But if I'm really struggling with things, it's like I just don't know. I need some some smart people out there. I just drop in my group and I get some great answers.
Yeah, that's so cool. And if you're watching today from her Hot Readers group, drop some questions or comments. You could win a free book. So far, Chelsea, I mean, she's in the running. And I'm just saying, give her a little bit of competition,
Is Chelsea, is she in Alaska too, Chelsea?
She is. Chelsea is in Fairbanks.
Oh,
yes.
Cool. Wow, it must be getting cold there now.
Yes. And I'm not going to tell her whole life story, but she's also just moved here from a very warm place. And so, she and we can commiserate a little bit. And you came from a very hot place.
Yeah.
Just curious, when you go back, when you leave Alaska, do you feel hot really fast? Like, does it?
Yeah.
Has it changed?
Well, so we actually go to Hawaii every winter. We have a place there. We some land that we're slowly trying to build a livable house in. It's livable because it's Hawaii, but I used to be as the years have gone by, I'm much more aware of, like, how much hotter it's there, and, like, it doesn't really get cold at night, and it's hard. My temperature has definitely shifted so that I'm more used to the cold. And if I go places like the East Coast where it's really humid, it's like, how can people breathe? How do they do it? Like, I'm not used to it anymore.
Or if you go back to a city like where there's smog, that
Yeah.
is really, that's crazy too, because it's so fresh here. That's something
It's
that your nose like doesn't know
amazing.
until you've been in this pure air. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's really true. That's really true. I love, that's one of my favorite things about here is just the freshness of the air. It's like, I always think of it as like champagne or something like that. Like it just
Ooh.
breathe in, you're like,
Breathe in
doesn't
some
have to be anywhere
champagne.
else.
Yes. Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
So, and it just came to me, so I'm sorry I didn't prep you for this, but how do you get like these
Oh,
sexy
no.
like covers? How do you get these models and these covers that are so awesome for your books?
Well, I mean, you know, my baseball series the one that you first read, and those were actually photo shoots that Avon did, but I had nothing to do with them. They make the covers and they send them to me, and they're like, "You like this, right?" Like, yes, I do. I really like it. Like, you don't have a lot of room for feedback, but covers like for this series, which is, you know, not through Avon. These are,
You can hold it
like,
up. You can hold it up.
Oh, they're models for a stock photo site, basically. So I didn't hire them and do a shoot somewhere. I would like to do that someday. I know some of my author friends do that, but I haven't had that opportunity, really. I don't know how that would work here. I don't know how much of a, photography scene there is in Alaska for this sort of
right
thing.
I don't either, but I didn't know how that worked, so that's really interesting to know. And who publishes your books now?
I do. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I do it all myself now. Yeah, it was exciting to make that change, and I've really been really happy with it, with the results. And so, I mean, I had like a 2 series with Avon, and those were great. That was a great experience. I learned a lot. They got me established, and then I, took it from there. I mean, that could change at some point. I may write a series that I feel like would be better off in the hands of a publisher like Avon. But right now it's like, I love being able to, I don't know, just set my own pace. With publisher companies like Avon, you can only put out 1 or 2 books a year. You can't go any faster than that. And it was just too slow for me.
Yes.
It takes months to do anything. And I don't know. I wanted to have more control over what I was doing. So
that's amazing. I'm so impressed. Good for you. And yeah, like your book shouldn't, like, I want the next one sooner than you can put it out. So I'm ready already. Tell us a little bit about, so this is your latest book. Tell us a little bit about Love at First Light.
Right. So this is part of the series called Lost Harbor, Alaska, which is a fictional town, very similar to the one I live in called Homer, but it's not identical by any means. And it's the 6th book in the series. So it's basically all the characters are connected because they live in this little town that's, just on the edge of the wilderness. So there's the Alaska, it's, my first Alaska set series, and just kind of trying to get it's basically romantic comedy set in Alaska with some suspense elements to it as well, some kind of plots that
I'm just saying, it could be a really good movie. This one could be a really good movie.
I think that'd be awesome.
You probably have contacts of people in LA. And my friend Rochelle says it's exciting to self-publish. So thank you, Rochelle. Also,
I totally agree, Rochelle. I really do. I love it. I didn't know how I was going to like it, but it suits me very well.
Well, I want to pick your brain about this later, but back at, Love at First Light. So yes, it could definitely be a good movie. And I have read quite a few of your books. So I feel like I have a good, like I can say this, but it's just so funny. And it's so like the banter of the characters is right on, and it's so hot. I mean, I never, ever am disappointed by any of your books, but for this series, the Lost Harbor series, I love this one. And I mean, I don't know anybody in Hollywood, but I feel like you do, and you should like go for it. Seriously.
Yeah, I should. I mean, you're right. I should. I might. When I lived in Los Angeles, I was writing screenplays then. I would write screenplays and try to get them produced. And it's such a tough business. That's part of the reason why I want to start writing books. It's like I wanted to just like actually be able to have something out there. When you write a screenplay, you know, you have to get somebody who wants to spend money to produce it. And
right.
so yeah, maybe now that I have all these books, maybe they'll come to me. That'd be fun.
Or like your own Netflix series. I would binge watch these like crazy.
The Virgin River series. Did you watch that on Netflix?
I haven't seen that one yet.
It's really, they did a good job with it. And I love those books too. So yeah, I was a little jealous. I was like, they should have my books.
They should. So maybe you have more contacts than you think that can get you into the Netflix. I'm telling you, you've got something here. And you told me that it's not just women who like your books. Like there are men that like your books too.
Yeah, they do. I think they got pulled in by the firemen. I have like, you know, retired firemen who have contacted me and let me know that they really enjoyed the books and they found them to be, you know, accurate. Like they could tell that I, you know, done my research. And I did. I had this fire captain in Los Angeles who was my consultant for those books, and he would answer anything that I asked. He was fantastic. So
I love that. And I can tell, yes, that you put so much research into it. Like it is, it's very good writing. And it's not like, you know, 198-page Harlequin, which by the way, I don't mind reading those either, but this is not that. And my friend Rochelle says, Melody loves reading your books, and she knows because I tell her. And so I do love reading your books, and I'm so excited. Like I got dressed for date night, like just because I was going to be I straightened my hair like this.
You look amazing.
Oh, thank you. I told my husband, hey, I got dressed up. After this, let's go on a date night. Let's get a babysitter. So who knows what is going to happen after this. And he used to think that it was crazy that I loved romance books. Like he just didn't understand. But yeah, I just can't help it. And you know, I usually do talk to education writers. I got to say that the reason that I did so well on like my ACT and all of my certification tests was because I read all the time, and all of those like elements from, you know, Greek mythology and, you know, biblical things. Like I understood humor when it was all tied together. It made me a very literate person, you know, reading romance books.
I do not doubt that. I mean, romance is a great genre. It's very underestimated in my opinion. It's the variety of settings and subgenres, and, you know, there's like futuristic romance, there's historical romance, there's contemporary, obviously, there's paranormal. There's such a huge variety, and you know, different kinds of characters. Amish, there's you know.
Yeah, I don't really get into the whole Amish thing. I know that's really big, and I see it on the shelves, and people have even like I just cannot get into Amish romance. I
haven't really tried it, but I think it's great that it's out there because there's a romance for everybody, really. And I love
a lot of people like it. It's a real thing. It's all over the show.
It is.
I am not one of them.
Well,
I also like
it
the
out.
sheep. Yeah, well, I have tried. I just couldn't get into it, I will say, for the Amish romances. But I do like also the Indian based one, the ones from, you know, the Middle East where you have the sheiks. I'm probably not saying it right.
Yeah.
But
that was a big thing for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. I like those too.
I don't think I've read a sheik romance in a very long time. But that was like one of the Harlequins, right? They used to have like a whole chic line.
They still do it, okay?
They do.
When I'm at my lowest point, I go to the grocery store and I get one. And so you're a contemporary romance author. How did you choose, you know, contemporary romance, that genre?
Well, I mean, part of it might be that I'm a little lazy. It's like I didn't want to do a ton. I wanted to have fun. Like my favorite things to write are dialogue, as you can probably tell,
Yes,
and just the interactions between, you know, the hero and the heroine. Just that kind of like buzzy, sparky chemistry. That sort of thing is my favorite part to write. And I just didn't want to get bogged down with having to do a lot of research. And I knew that, I mean, there's research in contemporary too, obviously. There's, whatever professions people have and, world building, because it's not exactly like reality. It's like this other better reality. But
yes, thank God.
But I didn't historical readers are very, particular about their facts, and I respect that. And I just didn't want to get bogged down in that. I wanted to just be able to do the fun stuff. So maybe that's a little bit lazy of me. But also,
okay. A person who puts out 5 books a year, like 300 pages, is not lazy in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, yeah. I guess I should not use that word. But also I feel like we live in this world today in which there's a lot of crap going, a lot of difficult things, let's put it that way.
You can say crap.
And kind of being able to live in this world and find happiness is important. That's my goal. It is to kind of, I don't know, just make people a little happier, make people's days a little bit brighter. Even if your day was really hard, knowing that you can pick up this book and, it brightens your day. That's it. But if it's always like in another place or another time or another world that doesn't exist, that kind of, to me, I like thinking that even in this day and age when things are so hard, we can still reach that same, blissful state.
Yeah, I agree. And I love that you said that. I have a friend who also writes books, but she's like me in education, but her name is Dr. Joy, and she says that just finding joy right now in our present circumstances is very brave.
Oh, I totally agree. Yeah, right. It's like everything's trying to beat you down. Sometimes it seems that way. And just being able to, experience joy is really important. It's really important for mental health.
Yes, it is. I finally just accepted that, reading your books is like part of my self-care. And it just, we have such busy lives, and I read a lot of, higher education books and stuff, things that my friends are writing, and they're great books. But there comes a time when you just have to let your mind go and just be in a happy place. And that's what your books have been for me. So I thank you. You're doing a great job.
I'm honored, seriously honored that you would feel that way.
Hey, if you need a focus group, if you need anything, I will read your books in advance with pleasure. Okay.
Oh, seriously, take you up on that. I will.
Please do.
We're on.
And I can get them done in a day. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, I have homework this week. I need to read. I need to make sure I read your latest book because I'm going to interview you. And it was not hard. It was not hard homework. It was amazing homework. So.
All right. Well, I'm not going to forget that you offered that, because seriously.
And I don't say things I don't mean. So please don't forget. And so I did put on the ticker on the bottom how we can join. You have a group. It's called facebook.com/group/hot readers. People can find you on Twitter at @Jen_Bernard. How else would you like people to follow your work?
Well, I have a website.
Okay. And I'll drop it in the comments.
My website is jenniferbernard.net. And that has, obviously all of my books and descriptions of them, and, lays out the series. They're, listed by series and so forth. And there you can also sign up for my newsletter, which I send it out every couple of weeks or so. And it's just book news and, giveaways, whatever's going on. I always have some stuff about Alaska. And that's what people are always excited to see.
Yes.
What's up here in Alaska. Whatever.
Definitely. And so I'm going to ask you a question that might be a no question. I've been told you shouldn't ask authors this, but what is your favorite book that you've written, or your favorite series?
Oh God. Yes. That's a really hard one. I mean, the thing is, it's like the favorite book is always the one I'm working on, because I have to just put my whole heart is in that book. It just is. That's how I write. It's like these characters are it for me. They're like the best ever. So right now it's head over heels for the holidays, which nobody has read yet. I'm telling you, it's my favorite. It's the best.
I bet it is. I'm waiting for it. Like, I believe you. I believe you.
But then, of course, there's always like, the first book is always going to have a special place in your heart. So, my first book was The Fireman Who Loved Me, which was the first in the Bachelor Fireman series. So that, other than the one I'm working on, or that's always going to be like, I just have a soft spot for it because it was my first. And
yeah, I hear you.
And in a lot of ways, that hero is kind of like the template for the heroes that came after in some ways. So, but and the current series that I'm working on, I have to say, this Lost Harbor series, I really love writing something that shows my appreciation for Alaska, basically. So,
oh my gosh, like you need to get your work into Hallmark's hands, Netflix hands, or somebody in Hollywood's hands. Like I just, it is amazing. And what I know I've taken so much of your time, and I'm sorry, I'm not really sorry. But here's the thing. You give your characters, like, they're real people. They could be real people. They're not like so out of this world. And I love that about your contemporary genre. And I think that's another reason why it's easy to get lost in it, or to just it's just, I love your characters. They're very good people, and they're just human like all of us. And you don't try to shy away from women, how we really feel about ourselves. It's just, you do a great job. And it just, Hallmark needs help, I think, right now with Netflix. So I'm just saying, I wish they could hear me. I wish I had a voice. Like, somebody make this into a movie. I'd watch them all. Yeah.
I should work more on that. There's so many things to work on. I want to make audiobooks. I want to do, there's all kinds of things I want to do, but that would definitely be fantastic. So maybe I'll put out some feelers to my old friends in LA.
Oh, I love that. Well, that is so great. I hope you do. Keep me posted on that. Before we go, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us today. It's been amazing. We do have some people that are chiming in. Well, Chelsea, my friend Chelsea and my friend Rochelle are the two that have talked with us and commented. So I don't know if you want to choose one of them, or just, choose the name that you like better. I don't know how you do it.
Well, if I make you choose, how would that be?
Oh my gosh.
Friends.
Oh my gosh.
Well, let's see. Chelsea has been here. Chelsea, Rochelle, both sound like amazing people.
They are. They're incredible educators.
Oh, I'm really grateful for you guys both tuning in. How about we have 2 prizes? I'll give away the paperback, and then I think I have another. Not this one. I don't have any more of this one, but I can do another paperback of the first one in this series.
You know what? Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put this competition to, listen, Chelsea and Rochelle, if you are listening, they might have come in and gone. Tell us why you deserve that book, and then I'll choose. I'll help you choose. Or anybody in your hot readers group, why do you want the paperback? Fight till whoever gets the paperback. Let's see, because if you're not, people can still watch this even when it's not live. So
right, okay.
We can push this little competition out. I want to see, why do you think you deserve this wonderful, amazing paperback, Love at First Light? It is 5 flames. I'm going to make a whole new romance. It's not 5 stars. It's 5 flames. It's so hot, and it needs to be a movie. But yes, thank you so much for joining. Again. Yes. Love at First Light.
It's one of my favorite covers. People are like, oh, my husband said he would throw his back out if he tried that with me. It's better on the cover of a book than in reality, probably.
Well, and you know what? And I got to say, because I did fall in love with your Love Between the Bases, I wanted to make sure I said that. And it is World Series time, y'all. So if you are really getting, yes. So if you're getting into the World Series and you want to get a good baseball romance, you got to check out Love Between the Bases. That's a great series. It's already finished, so you can just get it one at a time and not have to wait for anything.
One of those books, Drive You Wild, is on sale right now for ebook for only 99 cents. So
holy moly, awesome.
So that's I think the third book in the series, but and I think they've reduced all the prices right now, just for during this playoff season. So
nice. I'm gonna put that. I can't see the cent sign. Cents.
Yeah. Just do 0.99.
I didn't. I just spelled it out like a crazy person.
99 pennies. Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect.
Drive You Wild is 99 cents. Well, it's an ebook and I didn't write it right, but you know, it is what it is. And you won't regret. Yeah, you won't regret it. Well, thank you, Jenny, so much for joining me today. It has been such a pleasure and an honor.
Thank you. Thank you.
Your next book, let's do this again.
Oh, absolutely. We could just like chat all day. I mean, geez, this is like that time went just so fast.
It did. And we went over. We're like 40 minutes. Like this hardly ever happened.
All right.
But
thank you, Melody.
Yes. Thank you. And thank you everybody for tuning in wherever you did. Bye.